Hello everyone. Today on Chai with Director Rai, we are joined by the voice behind India's biggest shows, an actor who commands the screen and a storyteller who moves hearts, Vijay Vikram Singh. From Big Boss to Big Emotions, he has done it all. Join me in welcoming him at Chai with Director Rai at IIMI. How are you feeling, Vikram?
First, thank you very much for inviting me to this show. There was a sense of achievement when you invited me to address your, in Bombay, the program in Bombay.
Right, the PGPMX.
The PGPMX. So there was a sense of achievement. Oh, finally, I've arrived. But this is actual arrival. I'm about to shoot a video on this also. When I appeared for CAT in 2002, and I got 93 percentile. Of course, every CAT aspirant dreams to get an interview call from IIM, and at 93 percentile, you would never. So I never thought that the quest to be interviewed will end up like this.
So finally, here is your interview.
Yes.
You know, Vijay, I've always believed that the seeds of what we become are often sown in childhood. I started out with theater and quizzing since my school days. It gave me a stage, a voice, and a fearlessness. Was there something in your early years that hinted that you were meant to speak to millions, even become an actor?
Yes, of course. And as you rightly said, the seed is sown in childhood. But a lot of the times we don't even realize that this is the seed that is being sown for something that you might never even aspire for.
True.
But end up achieving. I keep telling people a lot of this. I was very active in extracurricular activities. And mind you, that was not taken very well. The school was always worried in all the parents-teacher meetings. The only complaint my principal used to have with me was that ये बहुत इसको extracurricular करा लो, class में नहीं बैठता है. So yes, so that was an indication that this is a creative mind meant to probably venture into performing arts. In fact, I participated in many debate and elocution contests. One of the elocution contests I won, I still remember that friends, Roman countrymen, lend me your ears, I come to bury Caesar, the famous speech from Julius Caesar. In fact, I have done some of the plays which acclaimed actors aspire to do back then when I was in class 9th and 10th. So the seeds definitely were sown. And not only this, the education that I received. I'm a product of ICSE board. And as you would know, ICSE board has a great focus on literature also.
Right.
In fact, in 9th and 10th, we studied the entire play, Julius Caesar.
For us, it was Merchant of Venice.
Okay. For us, it was Julius Caesar. Also, people might think that since it's ICSE board, the focus would be on English. In fact, the Hindi also that was taught in 9th and 10th was very good. So my introduction to literature, performing arts happened in school, and the seeds were definitely sown there because of the education that I received, because of the people that I was, my peers. They were also, like my friend, but the bestest friend who's still a friend, he used to listen to S.D. Burman when he was in class 8th and 9th. So I was introduced to S.D. Burman. We started listening to Ghalib and Bachchan Saab's Madhushala back then. So that seeds definitely were sown in childhood. It's much later that I realized that this is my calling.
Absolutely.
I think, but everything happens for good. I mean, there's no regret that I should have taken it up earlier. It's
absolutely. And so there's something to be said about schools in Kanpur. Clearly.
Absolutely.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Now, you've been the voice behind some of the most intense and dramatic moments on screen, be it movies or OTT. But when life gets overwhelming, what does your inner voice sound like? I mean, how do you find calm amidst the noise? Any 3 tips for people?
First and most important, which is something that I've learned in my acting training, is never run away from an emotion. One of my acting teachers, he said something very profound, which has stayed with me, that emotions are like rain clouds. You must let yourself soak in those emotions and then just let them pass. So experience everything, but don't hold on to anything. So that is one thing that has stayed with me, and that has helped me stay sane in all this insanity. In fact, the career that I've chosen in the past 15 years is one of the most insane and insecure careers. You never know when the next project is coming from. You are thrown out of projects. There are projects that you finish that you are banking on, and they never get released. So amidst all this insanity, the one thing, so you asked for 3 tips. The first and the most important is letting that emotion, experiencing that emotion in totality.
Okay.
There's a fad that is going on that, be positive, and people understand it, in my opinion, the wrong way. Being positive means skirting the issues. Negative emotions ko niche dalte jao, carpet ke under. No, I think being positive is about experiencing, getting drenched in that emotion. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to shout, shout. The problem occurs when you start
bottling it up. Absolutely.
Either bottling it up or holding on to it. So experience, let that emotion out in whatever way you want to, without hurting anyone else. So that is one thing that I do it on purpose. At least that awareness has come now that, okay, this is something that is bothering me. Let it. Let the entire steam come out, and then I'll probably take a decision on it, or take an action on it. That's one. Second, having a great support system.
Very important.
Very important. Support system can come from anyone. Like these days, my biggest support system are my children. I can't tell them my problems, but looking at them, helps me come out of those problems. That okay, and you learn a lot from them. And this is one instance, if you allow me, I'll share it with you. That how you learn from your kids. That I do workouts, and my son sometimes accompanies me to the gym, which is in the society itself. So there's something called box jumps. I think, it's called box jump, where you stand here and you jump as far as you can and land and stay there. So that helps you build your core a lot. So he saw me doing that, and he got interested, and he started trying it himself. So the first thing that he did was he tried to jump as far as he could, and he fell. He could not maintain balance. So he did it twice or thrice. When he realized that he cannot jump very far, what he started doing was he cut down his range. He learned first how to land. Once he started landing, then he started increasing range. That's such a beautiful lesson.
Absolutely.
Take it slow, learn how to land, and then, so children teach you a lot, and they are my biggest support system. My wife is. I hate to share my emotions with anyone. I feel कि अगर मैं किसी चीज से गुजर रहा हूँ तो दूसरे को क्यों परेशान करूँ? And she understands that. So she won't bother me at that time, but she will be around, knowing कि ये बस आ रहा है. It's just about to come out. It's just about.
That's what matters at the end of the day. Yeah.
So she won't bother me in that moment.
Okay.
But just hanging around. Okay, that moment is now. हाँ बताओ. So that support system is very, very important. And then having perspective. You see things in a certain way. Like I quote Charlie Chaplin in this. Like Charlie Chaplin said that life is a tragedy in close-up and a comedy in long shot. Problem is, when you are in the problem, you are in the close-up. But if you can somehow develop that long shot perspective, where you get a bird's eye, you get a third person's view, okay, your perspective changes, your horizon broadens. And that perspective comes from reading. So these are the 3 things that help me come out of problems.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, talking of reading, as someone who finds spiritual grounding through yoga and reading, I've always seen performance as a way to reflect deeply on the self. Of all the characters you have played, from the family man to Charlie 777 to Mirzapur, was there any one that hit so close to home that it stayed with you long time afterwards?
Special Ops. Because Special Ops shows the story of Commodore Chintamani Sharma, who's an upright man who's been the most honest person. ever, but he also slips. So for me, he's human.
Interesting.
He gets honey trapped and eventually has to kill himself. That's one extreme that he takes. But I feel that he's close to me because I can relate to his frailties and all the weaknesses that he has.
The humanness, basically.
The humanness. The characters we play generally, unless it's a central character, when you're playing characters, when you're a character artist, you're only portraying one. You're either this or that. His character had the seeds of humanness that all of us have. निदा फाजली कहते हैं कि हर आदमी में होते हैं 10-20 आदमी जिससे भी मिलना हो कई बार मिलना. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम उन 10-20 आदमियों को छुपा के रखते हैं. पर हम सब के अंदर वो 10-20 आदमी हैं और वही हमें they make us human. In films and when we are writing about someone, we tend to deify people or tend to project only one side of that person. So that character has stayed with me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, you've delivered powerful talks on global stages, but sometimes it's an unexpected moment, a conversation with a listener, a young student, or even a quiet thank you that stays with you. Has there been a moment like that that left a mark on you?
So I was invited to a talk at IIMI, Ahmedabad Management Association.
Okay.
And I delivered my talk on failure, which I talk about. And there was this girl, 18 or 20. She asked me some questions, and the questions were pertaining to her own existence. And I had no answer to it. But I realized that I don't have an answer. But I also realized that probably she's not looking for an answer.
Right.
She just wanted to talk it out. And I didn't tell her initially that I don't have an answer to your question. I said, "Beta, आप बोलो, आप जो भी बोलना चाहते हो, यहाँ सब अपने हैं. Just release." And she spoke for, I think, 12 or 15 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
About everything that she was facing. And it was nothing. It's those natural insecurities that any youngster goes through at that age, existential crisis, that you don't know what you will be, or you can't figure out what you want to do in life. And I told her, just one thing I told her, that, Oscar Wilde says that if you want to become something in life, you becoming that is your biggest punishment. And why he says that is because once you become that, you tend to feel that I have arrived.
Absolutely.
You are in a brilliant space where you are getting to explore so many sides. You are, ticking okay, this is not working for me, this is not working for me. And this way, the thing that you arrive at will be the most satisfying. That is one thing that I told her. But other than that, I only listened to her. And in the end, I told her that I don't have an answer to your question. But I feel that you just have to go on.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes you tend to become a prisoner of your own expectations,
Absolutely.
which is something you have to watch out against.
Yeah.
Now, I often say that words carry energy, and how we use our voices can shift not just others, but ourselves as well. Has there been a time when a role you played or a narration you gave unexpectedly changed someone's life, or maybe even your own?
So I've narrated my stories and delivered talk on failure on multiple platforms, multiple TEDx platforms. There's this platform called Josh Talk. So I delivered a talk for them, and it garnered around 5.5 million views. And one day, while I was shooting for a podcast, I think, one of the editors or camera person, he walked up to me, touched my feet. And he said that, that talk, I heard that, and I listened to it, and I listened to it multiple times, and I was about to commit suicide. I mean, I was in that state of mind.
Whoa.
And the way you said that, if you want to commit suicide, just remember one thing, that once you reach there, there's nothing but regret. And probably you'll not get a second chance to talk about it. I was lucky that I got a chance, but you might not. So trust me, there's nothing big enough to end your life. He said, that stayed with me. And I just held on to whatever I was feeling for a couple of months, and then I was fine. So thank you very much. Moments like these make you feel that, you've done something worthwhile.
Absolutely. I mean, even if it touched one person's life, I think you've done your job, as a compassionate human being.
Yes. I know so many people who are of my age who are just running from pillar to post, trying to make ends meet. But here I am, doing same things, but have brought about change to at least one person's life through my experiences, through things that people feel ashamed to talk about. Even my father keeps telling me, अरे भाई तुम ये क्या ये सब बातें करते रहते हो? अब बस करो, मत बोला करो कि तुम शराब पीते थे, तुम ये करते थे. तो there is a taboo around it, but that has stayed with me, and that motivates me to talk about these things even more. If I can talk about my frailties, my weaknesses, and the things that I've learned from it, and if it can change someone else's life, I'll continue talking about it.
Absolutely. But probably that is more likely to touch a chord
Yes.
with someone else.
Can I give you one more example?
Yeah.
So I went to IIT Guwahati to deliver a talk on failure again, and it was for PhD students. There were around 60 students. I was supposed to talk for 45 minutes, and I spoke for an hour and a half. And then there was half an hour interactive session also. And post that, the students walked up to me and said, sir, suicides in IITs and in IIT Guwahati is a reality, is a big thing now. There are counselors also. But when we spoke with you, it felt that we are speaking to someone, one amongst us, someone who is like us, who has the weaknesses or who has faced the weaknesses that we face, rather than a professional who understands human mind, but probably has not gone through it. So that again, changes perspective and makes you feel good that something that you said has struck chord.
Absolutely. All right, VVS, this is time for rapid fire now. Okay. A word you overuse while voicing.
Aage dekhiye.
All right. I should have guessed that one. Okay, the weirdest place someone recognized you from your voice.
Many. Mauritius, UK. I was walking with my friend in a tube station in Manchester, and 3 Pakistanis walked up to me and said, "You are Mr. Vijay Vikram Singh."
Fantastic. Yeah. Your guilty pleasure TV show.
Kapil Sharma Show. Anytime. Anytime. As in like anytime.
I should see it sometime at least. Yeah. Okay. If your life were a series and you were voicing the next episode, what would the title be right now? And is there a plot twist you're secretly waiting for?
See, the title should be Learning Continues.
Okay.
Yeah. Plot twist is Kab Banega Crorepati.
Bahut sheeghra. Okay. The last thing that you Googled.
I just Googled something today itself. What was that? Yes. Might sound stupid. I follow collections of the movies that have released recently. I don't know why. So I Googled collection of Kesari 2.
Abhi kaun sa? Okay. Interesting. What is more intimidating, mic or camera?
Camera.
Your spirit animal?
Either Gilhari or Khargosh.
Interesting. Yeah. If not voice or acting, what would you be?
Nothing. A nobody. Which I was before I was into this profession.
Interesting. Your favorite snack during a long recording session?
We have to be very careful of what we're eating when we're
because of the voice.
Yes.
Okay.
If you eat anything wrong or anything heavy, you might lose on the bass. Like right now, I just had a sumptuous lunch and my bass is gone. Like right now, if I have to do a bassy voiceover, I have to go really deep and I have to make effort. So I'm very careful not to have tea in between recordings. Coffee, I'm now trying to avoid. So I try not to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
One actor whose voice gives you chills.
Oh, it has to be Morgan Freeman. Has to be Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman is fantastic.
He is at that level of minimum effort, maximum result.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Okay. Ever recorded something in pajamas? If yes, when? If no, why not?
Video or audio?
Video.
Oh yes, there's so many auditions that I record in pajamas. Because it's only mid-shot. And I'm very lazy when it comes to wearing clothes. I mean, of course, I wear clothes, but when it comes to dressing up, I'm very lazy. So like if the scene requires me to dress in a suit, and I know it's a mid-shot, so...
You'll probably just have jacket and tie.
Just have a jacket and tie.
Interesting. What's your go-to karaoke song?
It has to be one of the Amitabh Bachchan songs. जहाँ तेरी ये नजर है
मेरी जान मुझे खबर hai. Okay. How does it feel being here at IIM Indore? 3 words.
Home, confidence booster, and when I come here, somehow I start believing in magic.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the magic would continue.
Yeah, I hope
The last one, a character you could play forever.
Give me any leech or negative character. I want to explore that side. Nobody's allowing me to do that. घटिया सा आदमी.
Okay.
बहुत घटिया आदमी. Or a comic. I feel that I can do justice to comic.
To a comic role.
Yeah, to a comic role, yes.
Fantastic. It was such a pleasure talking to you, Vijay. And I'm sure that the audience has learnt a lot and is going to reflect on this particular conversation. So until next time, please stay with Chai with Director Rai at IIMI.